Gotta check out my stocks again. I got you. Twins. NASDAQ. Tonight, Kirk Scholes joins the College Football Playoff Board.
And something fishy in Pullman. We give you an update on the local fish.
And a local landmarker sees an extra level of protection. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Swanson.
And I'm Guillermo Mota. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Mackenzie Foster joins us at Martin Stadium with more information on how a member of WSU will represent the Pac-12 on a national stage. It was announced
yesterday that WSU President Kirk Scholes will join the College Football Playoff Board of Managers as representative of the Pac-12.
The CFP is a 4-team postseason event that decides which Division I college football program is crowned the national champion. The 4 teams that compete in the playoff are chosen by the CFP Selection Committee.
Schultz has been involved in a number of sort of high-profile athletics-related committees, national committees throughout his career. He was on a high-ranking committee with the NCAA, for example. So good for us at Washington State University to have somebody who really understands the role of college athletics on a college campus.
Scholes, along with the Board of Managers consisting of 11 members, help oversee and develop the CFP's annual budget policies and operating guidelines. Mackenzie Foster, Murrow News 8.
Well, we got a fishy one here. A WSU researcher studied how runoff water affects fish. Jennifer McIntyre, a researcher at WSU, found that some fish react differently to urban runoff water. Coho salmon die within hours of exposure to the runoff, while the chum salmon does not. McIntyre fears that the sick fish could die off before laying their eggs.
Washington State University looks to build a new bee research facility. Carissa Slater talks with the people making sure the money's there.
Washington State University and its faculty have been invested in bees for a long time.
I started keeping bees in 1975.
And the university plans to invest even more.
We provide them queens that they then make tens of thousands of queens for sale. We do research on the evolution of honeybees. We're doing research on the use of alternative means to control parasites and pests.
Ken and Sue Christensen donated $1 million to fund more research in a new facility.
The researchers are doing great things in really, I don't want to say poor conditions, but they could be much more efficient and do much more in a more state-of-the-art facility, as well as kind of all being together and not spread out over multi-site.
Approximately 60 hives just like these sit all around campus. 4 different research labs, including one in Yakima, conduct all the research. But this new donation will help a new facility be built just right behind me.
We were looking at giving back to WSU and in the science and the dedication and the hard work of the beekeepers as well as the researchers at WSU.
And to be able to do it right here in Pullman will be a big improvement.
Carissa Slater, Murrow News 8.
In one way or another, drugs or alcohol have impacted our lives in some way. Whether it's you, a loved one, or a peer, WSU students created Cougs for Recovery to provide resources for those affected by drugs or alcohol dependence. The organization primarily focuses on teaching students self-help with student-led recovery meetings. Additionally, leaders of the program want to create a supportive community for students struggling with or overcoming substance abuse. Cougs for Recovery holds meetings each Thursday in Cub 208. For more information on coping with addiction, visit the Cougs for Recovery Facebook page.
Well, the Graduate Professional Student Association, or GPSA, met for a meeting on Monday with the main focus of addressing the mental health of student athletes and recreation center hours. WSU women's basketball coach Cammie Etheridge attended as the guest speaker for the event, talking about the efforts students need to take in regards to the athletes' mental health, and emphasized that spotting warning signs takes a lot more than people realize. In addition, GPSA talked about extending the hours for the UREC by an extra hour, which would cost an extra $25,000 a year. The Pullman Historic Preservation Commission added Greystone Church to the local list of local historic register here in Pullman. The church, a 104 years old building in College Hill, now serves as an apartment complex. It operated as Pullman Presbyterian Church until 1963. The Historic Preservation Commission says 53 buildings in Pullman's downtown district currently meet the register's historic building standard. William Swain, a local architect, designed the church in 1898.
When we come back, we travel over to Idaho, where one art exhibit turns destruction into beauty.
And Idaho receives recognition from schools.com when Murrow News 8 continues.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
The late summer months often bring dangerous wildfires or fires in a smoky haze to follow. But University of Idaho just opened an exhibit that turns wildfires into art. The new Conversations Through the Smoke exhibit opened yesterday at the Riddenbaugh Art Gallery. Artists designed the exhibit to showcase the communities heavily impacted by the recent wildfires in the Northern Rockies. The exhibit also includes aspects from firefighters and fire management crews that help to control the fires and keep communities safe. You can check out the exhibit now through the end of this week.
At this time, we would like to congratulate our next door neighbors, University of Idaho. Schools.com ranked the U of I campus the best four-year university in Idaho State. For the second year in a row, Schools.com evaluates universities using 13 different criteria. Schools.com said University of Idaho's availability of online programs makes it particularly attractive for prospective students. University of Idaho President Chuck Sabin says the university appreciates the recognition.
Latah County finally lifted the campfire ban for Potlatch Corporation land in Idaho. Timber companies have enforced this ban since August 1st due to the extremely dry and hot weather conditions in the later parts of the summer. Although Potlatch Corporation will no longer enforce the burn ban, company officials still urge people to use extreme caution when using the forest and enjoy campfires responsibly. Next, we take a look at new research released on global warming and how it might affect you.
And we also swing it over to our weather anchor, Alex, for an update on the weather. Next on Murrow News 8.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Can you feel the sun?
According to a recent study, climate change could affect all of us sooner than expected. A landmark report from the United Nations Scientific Panel on Climate Change expects a rise of 2.7 degrees within the next 10 years. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change described a world of worsening food shortages and wildfires and a mass die-off of coral reefs as soon as 2040, a period well within the lifetime of much of the global population. Well, as the skies get darker early in the day, the temperature continues to drop. Let's send it off to Alex Clark in the Weather Center, who will tell us what to expect for later this week.
Thank you, Taylor. Well, taking a look at what we got going for today, been about an average of 50 degrees, bit of a cold, blustery day, a little rain as well. Good thing I was able to stay inside while getting ready for tonight's newscast. But as we see right now, a little bit of wind going on today, an average about 48 degrees as we get ready to take a look at the state map, looking for how the rest of the state is going on. The most of the eastern side of the state. It's been kind of the same kind of way, just been very cold, a little bit rainy as well, where the only one really that made any difference was Yakima over here, getting into at least into the 60s, where everywhere else in the east about the high 50s. But a different story heading on over to the west side of the stage, where again we're looking at the low to mid 60s with just a little bit of cloudy weather, really, so a little bit interesting not seeing any rain on that side. taking a look now at tomorrow's forecast for Pullman. Excuse me, right there. You're in the morning going to be a little bit in that low 50s area. It's going to heat up a little bit as we head over into the afternoon, but clear up as we head to the evening. Big thing to note, no rain is expected right now. In fact, it's going to be finally clear by the time we reach the evening sky. But now as we head for your 5-day forecast, looking at this right now, over on Thursday, you're going to notice that it's going to be pretty much sunny for the next few days. It's really going to get a lot more clear as we go through for these Pullman skies here. But you know, we're going to send it right back to the desk at you guys.
When we come back, Washington State fruit growers go apples to apples with foreign tariffs.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Washington State fruit growers found a way to get around tariffs from nearby countries to continue to dominate in a global market. China and Mexico currently have tariffs on the U.S. that could decrease exports by 20%. In order to get past such tariffs, Washington set a record of 8 million 40-pound boxes of apples to India, passing Canada as the #2 export market for apples. The Washington State Tree Fruit Association estimates a lower apple crop than last year's 134 million boxes. A smaller apple crop means fewer apples will need to go other places. Ladies and gentlemen, start your pumpkins. Thousands flocked to Maine over the weekend for the Pumpkin Fest, and regatta pumpkin boat competitors carve out their pumpkins, making it into a floating device and race it down the river. Some even attach a motor. The pumpkin boat competition started as a joke in 2007, but has become a fun annual tradition. The fest helps local nonprofits raise money and awareness about agriculture. This year, 10,000 visitors were expected to attend.
Will you be pumpkin carving this year?
You know, I think I actually will. Me and my roommates have got a big plan this year. But thank you guys for watching tonight. Join us every weeknight at 7 and 10 for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great evening, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman.